Shalom. Welcome to GMS Scouts on the Streets. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash, whom I worship. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this word in sincerity and in truth, who rule well and are still on the highways and byways doing this work all the way until Yahweh Shai comes, okay, with the holy angels. Salutations to all the Akim, both affiliated and not affiliated with GMS, who believe and preach the gospel according to the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Keep on pushing forward. Do not lose your faith. Don't faint. Do not be weak. Strengthen yourselves in Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Pray without ceasing. This is Elder Sakaran from the New York camp, from the GMS New York camp, and back at you with another lesson. This is dealing with the parables of the kingdom of heaven. So let's get into it. This is the book of Matthew, the 22nd chapter, in the first verse. And Yahweh Shai answered and spake unto them again in parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. That certain king is speaking about Yahweh, all right? And he prepared a marriage for his son, his only begotten son, which is Yahweh Shai. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Now, those servants that he sent forth is speaking about the prophets, teachers, elders, apostles, right? And they would not come, speaking about those of Israel that where they heard the word, but they didn't believe, all right? They didn't believe to the point where, no, they didn't believe, period, all right? And they did not come in to the faith to do this work, all right? To help out with calling the people to the marriage of the king's son, okay? Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage, right? And that represents the servants once again are the prophets, right? The prophets, teachers, elders, apostles of the Most High that he sent out. And like we always affirm, man, that is the prophets, teachers, elders, and apostles that are within Great Millstone, all right? Because those are the men that the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash has landed upon, all right? Believe it or not. And it says, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. And that's talking, all the things that are ready is talking about the prophecies. All right? The Lord has, he had his prophecies out, and concerning Yahweh Shai, and concerning things to come, and pretty much the majority of the prophecies are fulfilled. There's a few prophecies left to be fulfilled, like the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, to come into full fruition. Esau coming down with his new world order, when he sits down to eat, like the scriptures say, and to fill his belly. And then ultimately the thermonuclear destruction, and then curtains for America, and then we'll be in our kingdom, right? So we're living in those days right now, the last days. This is verse 5. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And that's talking about the people, the Israelites out there in the world. They'll go by one of the camps. They'll sit there for a little while. They'll listen. They'll probably ask a few questions. Then they'll go their merry way. But they didn't take it serious. They made light of it. All right. They went about their everyday business. Their everyday lives, so to speak. Okay. Well, there's gonna be a missile for them at the end. They will not partake in the Lord's salvation, man, because they didn't take heed. All right, they made light of it. Verse 6. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. And that's talking about those wicked Israelites from the from old, the ancient days, that took the prophets, killed them. Those wicked Israelites that worship Baal and Dagon and Marduk and the different gods and goddesses. They took the prophets, man, and they killed them, man. Why? Because they didn't believe in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, they believed in mammon, money. They believed in false gods and goddesses. And so what happened is that they got angry because the prophets put them to shame, and constantly cussed their asses out, telling them that what they were doing was wrong. So they didn't like that. Israelites don't like being told when they're wrong, man. And they killed the prophets, man. Well, those prophets that they killed, guess what? They're back here once again, doing the same thing that they were doing a long time ago. Verse 7. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth. The king is Yahweh. And he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their cities. And so what the Lord did was he set up these other nations to come against Israel, man, to destroy Israel, to lead Israel away into captivity, because they refused to hearken to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They refused to hearken to his laws, statutes, and commandments. They refused to put away their false images and idols that they worshiped and trusted in. Okay. And so these different armies and kingdoms came against Israel, both the northern, beginning with the northern kingdom, because King Shalmaneser came in 724, 725 BC and destroyed what was known as the northern kingdom, the kingdom of the 10 tribes, kingdom of Ephraim, right? Destroyed them, killed them. Those that remained, led them away into the land of Assyria, where they served as slaves, okay, to the Assyrians. And then years later, the Lord set up Nebuchadnezzar to come against the southern kingdom, which is the kingdom of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and took them. Nebuchadnezzar took them, and who was it? King, I believe he was king. Was it king? Has King Jehoiakim, and his son, and I believe Nebuchadnezzar plucked out his eyes. I believe it was. I gotta go back into the history. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, the Lord brought the Babylonians, right, ruled by Nebuchadnezzar, to take down the kingdom of Judah, to lead Judah, Benjamin, and Levi into captivity, all the way brought them to Babylon, right? Brought them to his land. And then after a certain amount of years, the Babylonians allowed Israel to go back. Allowed Judah, Benjamin, and Levi to go back to Jerusalem, and but to be tributaries, okay, unto them. And the 10 tribes, well, after so many years being in captivity in the land of Assyria, they got themselves together, like it says in the Apocrypha, communal with one another, and we're looking for a place to worship the Lord where nobody was able to bother them. So they sailed and got in ships and came over here to the Western Hemisphere, to the Americas. Okay, and that's history right there. Until the time of the end, which is down now. Now all Israel, they are over here, man, in the Western Hemisphere. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has his elect, all right, over here and throughout the world, ready to be delivered in that day when he comes back with the thousands of angels. Verse 8, then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. That was talking about the 2/3, all right, that the word of the Lord came to them, and they didn't want to hear it, okay, including those wicked scribes, Pharisees and Sadducees during the time of Yahweh Shai. That they didn't get it, man. They didn't understand. All right, so they were not worthy. Verse 9, go ye therefore into the highways, and the highways, man, out there on the streets, on the main streets of the cities wherever Israel's in. All right, the Lord sent forth his prophets and his teachers, man, to go out there to teach Israel. All right, that this marriage is about to take place. So they're being invited. So when you see the prophets and teachers of Great Millstone out there teaching, that's exactly what we're doing, man. We're out there bidding the people to come to the marriage of the King's Son. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. Both bad and good, because that's what comes into the truth, right? You got the like that old saying, you got to take the good with the bad, and then the Lord will reveal who's the bad, right? The wicked tares amongst us, and weed them out. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And that's what's taking place now, brothers. Okay? The wedding is being furnished with the guests. And the guests are those who come in by the preaching of the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Ruach HaKodesh. th verse. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. The wedding garment is talking about this word, okay? The word of truth within you. That's the wedding garment, okay? And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and right. That's talking about a wicked ass Israelite that didn't have the anointing of the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Ruach HaKodesh. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. So that was the end of that parable dealing with the kingdom of heaven. All right, and Lord willing, I pray that the Lord put that spirit upon me to keep on going with these parables. All right, and breaking them down. So anyway, that's just been another quick lesson. And of course, the kingdom of heaven belongs to the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, the elect of the Hebrew. Let me say, beginning with the elect of the Hebrew Israelites. And then thereafter, all Israel. In the kingdom of heaven, all Israel will be righteous, all right, and acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So with that, brothers, this has just been another quick lesson. I hope brothers were edified, and like always, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to let you know whenever I put up a video. With that, this is Elder Sakaran signing off. Shalom.